Rumors of a Bitcoin ETF approval have taken over crypto Twitter. We're going to be taking a close look at what is available on Fidelity's website directly today on the basement. CoinGecko having a massive breach we're going to be taking a look at, and potentially even being live while we receive an approval, slated to come within the next few hours. All this and more on today's Blockchain Basement. We are the bread and butter of all the information that's been swimming across the internet for crypto news.
If you're going to screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Over 2 years, he's made like $17K on Roblox. And he's
What?
Like 12.
You never listen to me, and we must be married. Yeah, well, how much are you investing? $100.
400 to 600,000. The
think it's
generational signals are now. Now.
You're spread so thin, that's how you get in on Snake. Snake's been my biggest winner.
Still in a bag. I just realized Hannah's got her ornament here on the table from Nicole. Thank you very much.
Unopened.
Yeah, unopened. Are you planning to keep it sealed? Okay. So you've made
Big announcement.
Yeah.
Big announcement.
Big announcement.
Okay.
Like this.
ETF was approved. Not it was hacked. Not it was denied. Not it was approved. I'm tired of it.
That's
There.
what it's been. That's how
That's
it's
all
been.
I'd say.
Compliment Drew's hair today. Man, my hair's a mess today. I got the little like alfalfa thing going on. You know, I have a beanie on in the morning and it just tears everything up. I hope you guys are doing well out in the chat. You got Bangarang Rufio, DoD Slave, Beastmaster, IC Cisco. Potentially. Crimson Caravan Company, Rico, Shake and Bake, Nicole Minis, of course, and Crypto Glassworks. Thanks for joining us all. Manawak down there in the chat. My OG peeps. So I want to get right to the thing that's most time pressing, in my opinion, is essentially CoinGecko coming out at warning people that they have been hacked. The CoinGecko Twitter account directly has been hacked. And, do not click any links coming from CoinGecko right now. This is developing. It happened right before I headed down for the live show today. So be very wary out there. Obviously, as you've seen yesterday, there's quite a few hacks and moving pieces going on. BJ is right on the edge of being damn correct about a massive problem coming. You're riding the razor's edge here. I mean, we were like yesterday, we're like, oh my God, it's dead. It's approved. That's it. And then two minutes later, Gary Gensler comes out. No, it's not. We didn't use two-factor authentication, even though we're a government agency that's supposed to, be in charge of monetary policy in America, the largest economy on the planet.
And in October, Gary Gensler tweeted a protect your account,
right?
Like turn on two-factor authentication in October, like 20 something.
Yes.
Did not
like
age
the
well.
timeline of events is just a little.
It's laughable.
Suspect.
It's laughable. BJ, my God, just seeing this foolish tumble with the SEC not having 2FA. Now they have the potential to be extra concerned about market manipulation. You might, you're right on the edge, man. You might be correct.
I'm tired of being right.
We had Eleanor Tourette on in the Discover Crypto show this morning, just bringing up the potentials of Lazarus Group's involvement. We do have a story about a little bit of Bitcoin movement within Lazarus Group yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see what data comes out about those wallets and what's happening today. Hopefully we can get that information tonight. But yes, just be wary and is full of emotions, as Hannah says up in the chat. It's been absolutely nuts. Trading this type of situation, pretty tough scenario. I don't want, a lot of people have been putting a lot of work into building bags, and that Darth Maul candle right there, that was a bloody 2-minute, 3-minute time frame right there. Jackknifed all the way up to $48,000, which is a target a lot of traders had. But then quickly jackknifed all the way down to 44,000, I think it was about 44,800. Yeah. So as it sits right now, the market in general, it's not an unhealthy structure. It's just, we are in a highly volatile time. You can see we've had some really big downward spikes in price that happened pretty quickly. So if you are out there leverage trading, just use tight stop losses. That's the best way to avoid getting wrecked. I had a lot of people talking about, different ways to hedge, doing a long and a short, a schlong, if you will. In that essence, like, if I don't feel really good about the direction of a trade, I'm going to be taking a little bit of moment out of the markets. You know what I mean? Just to see where it lands. So just keep that in mind. And, we're going to be seeing the results of today if there is not an announcement and it does get further pushed back, because today, the 10th, is the deadline where this, has to come out by. But we are seeing some things within Fidelity and a few other websites we're going to be taking a look at. We might as well hop right into it here on all the news coming out. So this is actually mining, that's for later, but these are the ETF tickers for ARK, WisdomTree, Invesco, Franklin Templeton, and Hashdex, showing up on Fidelity trading windows right now. So via Marty Party Music, pretty awesome account. And this is the Fidelity website here. It does have the ARK 21 shares and WisdomTree on here, but you can see it is zeroed out. So the actual landing page for it's live right now, but the trading is not live. It's important to keep in mind. My God, it looks like it's getting close. This is the news that broke this morning that had people, pretty sure it was one and done once again in this emotional roller coaster we're on. But CBOE approves the following spot Bitcoin ETFs for listing on its exchange, pending the SEC approval. Not an SEC approval for them to put it on the exchange. This is CBOE approving the ETF for its own exchange and, waiting for the SEC in kind. And so this is just multiple different companies that we talked about, obviously. Franklin, Van Eck, all the regular customers here, Invesco Galaxy. So, it's feeling like it's very, very close. At minimum, like, if BJ is right, like is thought that we get pushed back for like a month or something like that is not too out of pocket to think about. There are, some interesting things that we saw yesterday. This came out, or actually late last night. North Korean hackers executed the largest Bitcoin transaction in a month. And let's see if we dig a little bit more into this. Lazarus Group just made biggest transaction, withdrawing $1 million in Bitcoin from what appears to be a mixing service this morning, then sending $150K to that to an inactive address they sent to before. So it's not linked directly to any trading exchanges, any sort of insider, behind the hack that would be buying the massive rip and then dip. It's an interesting thing to think about what actually happened. Like in the chat and here in the studio, I kind of want to get your guys' opinion. Like, do you think this was just some crypto degen that was able to overcome this two-factor authentication weakness? Was this the North Korean Lazarus Group or some nation state trying to stop this process from going in? Or was it just a fat finger from the SEC? Maybe just a pre-made post that they already had that they accidentally posted to it. I mean, PJ, I want to get your thoughts on this. What do you think? What do you think?
I feel like if it was a hack, it would be a little bit more obvious, meaning there would be like an IP trail or something of the sort. And the fact that Twitter claimed that they looked into it, but didn't be like, I mean, you could blank out some of it, but be like, these are the IP addresses that usually it's accessed from. Right. This is the IP address that it was accessed from. Like, you don't have to fully dox that, and there was none of that. They're like, we just looked into it, and it, in fact, was hacked. So there seems some ambiguity there. And all honesty, I just think this is insider trading that's really going on. And somebody intentionally released it. A lot of people knew that it was going to come out. They knew exactly what it was going to do to the market. They knew exactly how to liquidate people, and it's just basically a whole little game that's going on right now. And they'll continue doing this game as long as they can. So I would expect this to happen, and now you have everybody hopping on finding whatever they can to be like, oh, see, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I still don't see a minimum until about February 2nd. Nick thinks that it's more so in, March. And then I think the final one is somewhere in April where they have it. And they're probably going to time it a lot closer to the actual Bitcoin halving than anything. So,
Aaron, what say you, man? I know it's been, you're in the news with us. You're having to, follow the news to go through the emotions of crypto Twitter. It's been an emotional
running
roller
up and down the
coaster.
hallway yesterday,
I know.
man.
I know.
I changed the thumbnail twice.
You ran
and
into
I was the only one who said fake.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, dude, stop being a naysayer.
Yeah.
We were live.
What I think what happened, look at this hand. These are some fat fingers right here. Someone fat fingered that tweet out.
You think so?
And then they're like, oh, it was a hack.
Yeah.
Cop out. Hack or it's a scam.
What say you, Hannah?
I think yesterday confirmed it for me that they are just like playing with us. Like it's like blatantly obvious. They don't care about hiding it. They do what they want and they sit back and laugh.
Yeah.
They tweet like it was all planned. Like this is not a coincidence.
Well, I mean,
all.
the timing is weird. The timing is really weird.
It all adds up perfectly.
Timing is very weird. And, the thought that, maybe, it comes to my mind like maybe, this is deep and dark, but maybe he did it to himself just to create a reason to clamp down on it and say, hey, look at how many billions of dollars just got liquidated. Guys, TradFi, you're about to hop into this stuff.
Well, didn't they say they have to
see-
investigate themselves?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're going to
that's
investigate
like-
ourselves. Right.
That is so ridiculous. What's the point of our branches of government? Right? You learn
Well,
that in first grade. The point of the
that
branches
doesn't fall
is
into
to
that at all,
distribute power. But still, I'm like, you
The
can't have
general
the
concept.
SEC being the one that's looking into the SEC. That's ridiculous.
You
That's
think
hilarious.
it's like a fox watching the hen house.
It's so
Ayo,
stupid. It's-
new OG
Hey,
stuff.
what's that?
Hey,
$0
what up,
Zero.
gang?
Also, people in chat, let us know what you think happened.
I saw a tweet. They were like, it could be them testing the market to see how things are going to react.
How
like,
big announcements affect. I mean, they have
but they fucking know.
they've seen it, right?
They know exactly
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they've seen it.
I'm just tired of
Now
ETFs.
we
though.
just have to. I mean, what do we do here? This is what we do. We recognize the corruption, we recognize the patterns,
Right.
and we read between the lines.
Exactly.
That's what you do.
That's what you have to do, man.
Recognize that it's a rigged system, and then figure
a
out how
totally rigged
to
system.
come up off of the rigged system.
Yeah.
Play a part of the rigged system.
It's not
Play a
easy
part.
to do.
Be a gear in the machine.
But then you get the worry like 10 years from now, BlackRock will be monetarily in control of everything.
Yeah, that's another
you know?
thing nobody is talking about. I saw a tweet this morning from one of my friends. Let's all be excited and act like this is like so great that we're gonna get ETFs approved and we're gonna make a little bit of money. But like, how does this affect?
I mean, people ask me how I
us
feel about it.
as
It's like
humans.
I'm just buying tanks and land, like, and as much
It's-
hard iron as I can. Like, I don't feel like things are getting better in the long term. It's just like we have a really good opportunity over this cycle, and hopefully we get another bull market cycle. But probably volatility will be greatly diminished if we do see this massive influx. That's essentially my plan. You know what I mean? It's not to, I do worry that BlackRock and the consolidation of the mining that has been seen, and then even the potential for upgrading the requirements to be a successful miner and compete.
You know what's gonna be really funny?
What's that?
Is it because all this? Watch, Gary Gensler gets fired, and then you see the new person who's put in with the World Economic Forum right behind them.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect time to put in like a new plant.
Yeah, pretty much. They're all over the place. You know what I mean? If you just, and the World Economic Forum will do random write-ups on other people outside of the young global leaders. But young global leaders are that's the program, I should say,
Where
that
Putin came from,
Yeah.
Trudeau.
Yes, like the young global leaders, man. That's the program where the real bread and butter of where the world is governed by comes from. So, watching all this stuff, and a lot of people are getting a little worried that there's going to be a massive dump in general. The markets are still pretty much looking healthy. This is a good highlight on the 3-day MACD crossing up from Matthew Hyland just now. He'll come up with another update on this at close of day. But we saw a pretty strong try for the MACD to cross under, and it's swooping back up. In essence, I feel like it and I know it doesn't look exactly like a bull flag. It's a little bit outside of that, but it looks like a very healthy market structure for me. In essence, what we saw today and yesterday with Ethereum, I'll just kind of highlight it again today because it's actually happening a little bit more. Yesterday we saw Ethereum really move. Today we see the ecosystem under Ethereum really stealing the show. Optimism, Rocket Pool, Arbitrum, Lido. Then you have Blur in here, but then Synthetics, Mantle, a lot. Here, I'll keep going down. Mantle. You see all the, and then Bonk. Look at Bonk, a little escape. I think someone mentioned that Hex had an escape pump. I'm going to check it out live on air here. It might be all the releases. Richard Hart, he's coming out. He's being a little extra feisty now. The SEC's the hot buzzword again. Yeah, you got an escape pump here going on. I don't know if it's gonna. Yeah, it's about 70% on the month. Not bad. Okay. And then, DZ always has to remind us, like Richard Hart does have, one of the largest crypto bags on the planet. So he's going to be able to fight a little bit against that SEC stuff that's going on. Shout out. Gifted blockchain memberships already. Thank you, $0 G Row. Absolutely fantastic.
Someone asked in the chat, trying to see what it is. For real, though, are y'all selling on ETF, LOL?
No. No, I'm not selling on the ETF. I'm trading a little bit on the ETF. I'm not selling on it. I mean,
No.
I
remember before I started working here, my dad was like, "Is there a Bitcoin ETF I can buy?"
Yeah, really?
Yeah, he was like, "Do they have crypto ETFs?" And I was like, "No, I don't know." Like,
that's a good normie measuring.
Yeah. Now here we are, 3 years later.
Okay, because your dad's probably into the more traditional side. Yeah,
he has Bitcoin and Ethereum.
That's what you're hoping for. Like, there's a reason why I'm holding into the bull market is because, this is that the spot Bitcoin ETF is one of the catalysts that's long been talked about to be needed for a true super cycle. The access of the largest fund managers on the planet to Bitcoin in a legal manner has been something that, crypto has been really hoping for a really long time. And now that we're at the day, it kind of feels surreal. It feels like it's not going to happen. It's just more scams. They're just going to rug pull me once again down there at the SEC. But I do think that it's actually in play right now. It's going to be like seeing the Fidelity listing of ARK and Wisdom Tree, Invesco already. They're not building the infrastructure for that for no reason. And the largest asset managers on the world would have a major egg on their face, especially Van Eck, from the comments that we saw them come out with yesterday and earlier in the week. Like, it's happening. You know what I mean?
But do you think they care?
They
Do
said,
they think,
Look at 2020. They knew.
they care about their reputation, though.
Do they? Because that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
They knew what was going to be the repercussion of printing trillions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that was going to put egg on their face, yet they still did it.
Right.
Because none of this shit matters.
Well, and
none of it matters.
I know what you mean, because of the truth, it takes a while to pan out, and by the time it fully comes out, then everyone's on to their next thing.
Like,
that
money
they're worried
doesn't matter.
about.
They know that. It's like I like the classic line. It's like, what was the Civil War about? And people will say it was about slavery, and you're like, no, it was about what type of slavery, agricultural or industrial. Industrial won, and you're still seeing that to where it's like. That's what does worry me with the ETF, where everyone's so excited, but it feels like you're letting the fox in the hen house, where it's just like you're letting all these institutions in a way that they are going to manipulate it. They are going to control it. I know we talked about how mutable is the code for Bitcoin specifically. Like, can you change the amount of 21 million? Like, I think these are relevant questions.
Right.
It is obvious that BlackRock controls a majority of the miners. You already had a massive centralization issue with the mining pools to start with. So it's just like, you wanted institutions, you're getting it, and you're about to get fucked.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
And we see the major miners continue to kind of grab more and more power. You know what I mean? And it's not like, when I see a big mining move, on one end, it's like great to see more companies interested, but then you get worried about having a situation like we do, where 3 mining pools control a vast majority of the Bitcoin mining code in the process. So we had this from Phoenix Computer Equipment, kind of a smaller firm. It was nice to see this finalized an agreement with Bitmain Development Pti Limited to acquire $187 million worth of Bitcoin mining hardware. So it is nice to see a little bit more growth coming to that sector, but the long-term worries about, that kind of monetary control that can come out of these Goliaths of finance. That's what they really are. You know what I mean? In comparison to what crypto and Bitcoin is, these companies have way more money than the entire market cap. So, there is a great degree of power that you got to see going to their hands. In the track record there within of particularly firms like BlackRock makes you concerned about that centralization problem that we might end up running into. And it could even be that they upgrade the mining equipment in and of itself in the code so that it becomes, basically unobtainable for, people in the norm that are only looking at $5,000, $10,000 miners. Now you'd be looking at $100,000 miners. So the gate of access can get closed. That's why the worry of it comes. And in essence, that's why I prep, heavily into real estate, crypto. And I do see biotech being something that I'm going to be seeing what kind of growth comes on that. I'm interested in that field for the end of the decade.
I mean, if you get bored, go on a Thermo Fisher and just see some of the guide RNAs that you can buy for like $14.
Get $14?
I mean, being able to do a lot of like gene edits at home. Granted, there are repercussions to it, but being able to do like myostatin up and down regulation and other things like those are guide RNAs that you can just throw in there.
Okay.
And I would say it's CRISPR-Cas9, but at this point, there's so many CRISPR-associated proteins. That's what CAS stands for.
Yeah.
But that whole field's going to get massive. But theoretically, it can also stay very decentralized in the sense with the whole biohacking movement. I know that's an ambiguous term. I personally think of biohacking as specifically not limited to supplementation, but more so actual genome modulation. But a lot of that stuff, it's like you need an incubator and some really basic equipment. Now, granted, you can have some off-target activation, which you don't want.
Yeah.
The technology is not fully there, but as it gets better, like these are things like you could just do at home. I'm not saying you should do them at home, but it's like, a doctor really would be doing the same exact thing that you can do. It's like, think about 20 years ago, I was able to do a PCR and a gel electrophoresis myself. Granted, it was some expensive equipment, and now you have real-time PCR.
Yeah.
So it's like the technology moves exponentially. So
let's see here. For your land buying, are you interested in small plots? Here, there are big ones where you can build another house. Definitely bigger plots of land. The Edu vids, definitely bigger plots of land. I have like 2 acres right now, but hopeful to change that to turning into a rental and then going to get like 30 or 40 acres. It's kind of what I'm targeting.
Sorry,
you know what I mean?
That was a throwback to the other thing. Never mind.
What?
C90.
You said 40 acres. It was throwback.
Okay.
Talking about biotech, did y'all see CZ's tweet?
He's been heavily into DeSci. What's he talking about?
It was November 27th, but he said, been reading about biotech, thinking about how to use crypto to accelerate research funding there, keep building.
Oh, yeah.
And it has 2.5 million views.
And after he put that tweet out, DeSci, the sector ripped. I know we've been talking about VitaDAO, Genomes DAO. There's a couple different.
But like to me, none of that is what DeSci really is. A lot of that is a way to get your data and just sell it to somebody else. Like true decentralized science would be, say, the human genome, for example, had never been mapped. And instead of only a few companies having access to that, it's like it would be online. It would be immutable. It would be on chain, and anybody could access it, and it wouldn't be censorable. So to me, that's what DeSci is a lot more about: is having like open narrative, having open research, where it's just like somebody does research, they release their paper, and they're like, "Oh, these are our results." But I would be able to follow the blockchain and be like, "Well, actually, you had 200 people in this group, 200 people in this group." They weren't clustered randomized trials. You cherry picked all of them and then released your data. Whereas right now, when you see the paper, you don't actually technically see what their original results were because they can remove those results at will being. So true DeSci would basically make all of that transparent.
For our medical system also, just from like, I had somebody pretty close to me had cancer. She's young, breast cancer, but like every time she would go to the hospital, the doctors didn't know like what they had talked to her about last. Like they could not keep up with her records, and it was like driving her nuts, and she didn't know if she was getting the right care that she was supposed
EMR
to get.
is insanely bad.
So it's like if we had a way to just like verify everything that they did and make sure that it cannot be changed, and like any hospital has access to it, like any doctor. It's not just one hospital, so that they can keep up with the records. And like we need that. We need that. But U.S.
They have that. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't
I know,
work.
they don't even
It
enforce
doesn't
it. They
work.
don't do
It's
it.
so
Yeah.
frustrating.
Electronic medical records is just the most borked system ever.
Yeah, it seems like a
not
nightmare.
good.
My daughter has a condition, and it's an absolute dumpster fire every time we try to go in there. And it just seems like I have a lot of gripes against the medical industry. I don't want to get completely banned off the internet, but there's a lot that can be fixed and overhauled. That's the hope of DeSci, is that it, kind of democratizes that system, as we're talking about. Then you're going up against massive players that were obviously in control of the entire planet not but 3 years ago.
And they still are. So
They
it's
still
like, I eventually would like to bring, I always mess up your last name. I apologize, Keith, but Keith Komoto, which is involved with VitaDAO and Lifespan.io and a bunch of other things. And I'm a huge fan and I love talking to him, but then he'll start talking about things. He's like, oh, well, so like Pfizer's involved in these companies. I was like, so what the hell's the point of this?
It's just a different...
Like, you just relabeled it and it's a way to make money and it's the same system still.
I mean,
so
it's not great. It's not great. So we hope for the best. We prepare for the worst. That's kind of my motto.
Drew, can you check the ETH charts? Everyone keeps talking about ETH just...
ETH has been ripping,
Going
dude.
up.
ETH is up. Last I looked, it was at 2,400. Yeah, 2,460 right now. Just giving no Fs. You know what I mean? ETH is really, really finding its footing. And this could, we could see that Bitcoin dominance begin to peel back. Ethereum trying to
get ready for those $1,200 gas fees.
Oh my God, dude. And anyone that has not been in crypto, if you're new and this is your first bear to bull market scenario, I just want to say gas fees get insane during the height of bull markets. So,
on Ethereum.
Yes. But you saw AVAX too.
Non-deterministic gas fee chain.
Yeah, well, ordinal or just inscriptions in general. I don't think they call them ordinals on AVAX. Skyrocketed those gas fees too. So we build all these, really great designed and great initiative layer ones, but then the proof comes in the pudding when it's actually put to use, and there's millions of people looking to transact on it. Then that stress test comes into play, and you get the results like we saw last bull market with extremely high gas fees on ETH to exit out of positions. So you'd have to make quite a bit of upside to be able to profitably exit those. So just keep that in mind when we're looking at all that stuff. It doesn't go up essentially the most I paid for gas last bull market is around like $600 on like a $1,500 bag. Just to get, that was like the worst case scenario, right? Had to get out of the project. The markets are turning over. So you got to keep that in mind when you're getting in projects. That's why things, other aggressive layer ones are reasonable for us to think about in crypto, because we saw all those different pain points. There is a hope that the Ethereum upgrade coming up, I believe it's in the next few months, might be even this month, an Ethereum upgrade is trying to fix the gas fee problem. Not much hope for it. And, it gets harder and harder to believe the more band-aids they put over more bullet wounds.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's still not proof of stake, so now you're going to fix the gas fees too.
I know.
You're just in this weird middle ground where it's like, we don't actually do anything correctly.
As an investor, then I see that opportunity with Arbitrum, right? Because, there's all these institutions still loving Ethereum, and it's going to take a little bit of shaking for them to choose like a Cardano or, a Solana ecosystem. If they're a bigger institution, you make, long-term contracts. So, thinking about that, that's why I think Arbitrum, OP, as an investor, they have good upside potential because of that problem. Seeing the problem and then seeing the potential opportunity there for me. That's just looking at, and then,
but building a foundation on top of a sinkhole is still building on top of a sinkhole.
Okay. Well, you can use fans. What if they come out with like a hover?
And I'm not
hover
saying
house?
there's not a possibility to make money here, because again, actual reliable tech and actual usable product does not always correlate to price. It just doesn't. So, I mean, it's kind of go with sentiment is where you're going to kind of make your money.
Oh my God. Ethereum is running right now. It is running. It's on its way to 25.
Can't wait for those gas fees.
Yeah.
I learned the hard way.
It's coming. What's the glaze at?
The worst is when you would like do a transaction and the transaction would fail.
Oh,
and
that
you
is
still
the
had to
worst.
pay the gas fees.
Yeah.
That got me so bad.
Salt in the wound.
Yet you're continuing to use that chain.
I don't continuously use it. I just have some ETH.
Let's see here. Michael Moore asking about Near ICP. I like both projects. I already have a position in ICP, but I have been looking at trying to get a good position in Near Protocol as well. Let's see here. Not a bad opportunity right now on the week. And on the month, pretty damn decent here. Okay, Near would be Owen. Here it is. We have found it. We have found the comfortable entry point. I think me and you have found it. Near
Burger time.
Yeah, I think it's time for burgers here. This is looking pretty juicy. It's looking like a snack. ICP, I already have a position in. Remind me after the show, Owen. That's the one. That's the graph I want for at least this month and next month potentially, and even into the bull market. But let's see here. So Internet Computer Token shaved off. It hit like $16 recently, or just about 15. It looks like. Yeah, no, 16
something.
Yeah, it's sitting at $12.80. I was hollering at everyone and being an unreasonable jackass about the bullishness on this thing at about $3.50, and here we are. So my bag was built back there, but. I mean, this is the same scenario. This graph feels very similar to Chainlink, where it's built this higher shelf and is trying its best to hold on. The ICP, by all rights, could shave off a good amount of its gains. It's had an extremely upside-driven last few months. So from $3.50 or $3 up to 16, you could expect a haircut. This haircut hopefully lands right in this $12 range. And it's not giving up the shelf too much. So ICP, I'd be waiting for a little bit of blood, a little bit more blood on ICP, my own bag, before I get it. DFDG Jan, Near is almost his biggest bag. Nice. I think it's a good looking graph at the very minimum. And I know we did a deep dive. Actually planning on coming out with a deep dive on Near, but it looks like pretty strong tech. So,
they also are asking, do you guys think daily active users and transactions will be more important than the TVL?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a fun one. So TVL, in a way, creates scarcity.
Right.
In a way.
Right.
And then where you could say daily active users and transactions, well, if those daily active users are doing, fractions of a cent, well, then that doesn't really matter. So it depends, I guess, what that volume is. But I think there's a correlation. It would be fun to see what that looks like. But like, for the example, any chain that has native staking, the more you're locking up that TVL into the ecosystem, you're kind of providing liquidity in a way. And then in a way, that's not necessarily liquidity. Like it is and it isn't. So you need to have, I would say, a lot of locked up TVL just for people to have kind of skin in the game in the ecosystem. But then your active users and everything else need to actually be doing big moves.
Right. They're going to be actually moving. I
realized that was a very cyclic statement.
This killed by death, bringing up Bonk. My God. It looked like it was on its way to dying there, and it is not dead. It is trying to wake up. So Bonk, man, I think Nicole even got some of this stuff.
She said she's down.
She's down on it from her original entry
still
point.
Losing on Bonk.
Because I did not want to talk about this thing on that original upswing, man. It was too fast, too violent, and I felt like.
What is the market cap on it?
It's at $902 million.
Oh, wow.
So this is super high risk still.
Well, it depends what the top 10 holders are and things like that.
Well, and you're nearing $1 billion meme coin. You know what I mean?
That was Baby Doge in 2021.
It's true.
I think 1.4 bill.
Baby Doge. Should I look it up and see what it did?
Yeah, I think it was like 1.4 bill.
That's all
it did that.
Baby Doge,
and it did about a month and a half.
Let's see. Is it
That's
this
all
one?
you talked about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it did things.
Look
at that top.
It made you money.
It did.
Market cap. The market cap tapped out at nearly 500 million, but that's still sizable.
No, that's this year.
No,
this
it's all time.
No, the coin was launched in 2021.
Well, I have data going back to 2021.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you that is fundamentally very incorrect.
Really?
Because when they were putting Baby Doge on, not NASCAR, but whatever the level is below, and I thought it was, honestly, who's the guy they did the Let's Go Brandon to?
Oh.
His name? Because I feel like that was the driver that they sponsored. like a month or two before that happened. That may be incorrect, but they sponsored a driver and it hit a $1.4 billion market cap.
Wow.
Jeez.
Okay.
So like this chart is extremely wrong.
1.4 billion.
Yes.
And that was that during the bull market?
Well, yeah, I mean it was June 21.
Well, that's what I was feeling like. This we're still kind of not really in a full-fledged bull market right now.
Yeah.
So like, seasonally, I feel like $1 billion is kind of the top or around the top for most meme coins right now. But yeah, man, like if you have a high risk tolerance and you want to get in on insane things like that, I mean, just do it within reason, man.
I have one more to look at.
What'd you say?
Can we look at Mog?
Mog? Oh god.
It's been a minute since we looked
Brandon
at it.
Brown was
Is that the one that FaZe Clan was pumping or whatever?
This is
This is a lot
Pit
of
Vipers.
miladies and just like LA kids tweet about this. Pudgy.
This graph
Lot of
turned out
pudgy
just
kids.
nice.
I mean, she ain't.
Yeah, they probably
mad.
sold on that chart or that part right over there.
Look at the 7-day chart.
Oh my god, they ain't
I
leaving.
just looked it
Wait,
up on
so was
Twitter.
the Let's Go Brandon guy Brandon Brown?
That sounds familiar.
Because if
Was
that
it
is the
him?
case, that was the Baby Doge driver.
Really?
Yeah, that's why like when they did the whole thing, I was like, I feel like
Well,
that
there
was
you
the
go.
Baby
Well, let's
Doge
see here.
driver.
Baby Doge.
Yeah.
Also, guys, we have 303 people in
Driver.
here right now. Don't forget to like the video.
Yeah,
that would help
just-
a ton.
Yeah, Brandon Brown.
Brown.
So and then I guess you look up Let's Go Brandon. Was that the same one? Because that's hilarious. If it
Brandon
is.
Brown. Let's go.
That's a
Brandon.
nice
Oh,
looking
yeah. They had a nice layout.
vehicle.
Brandon Brown. Let's go, Brandon. Let's see. Let's go, Brandon. All right, let's go. Google's probably not gonna give me this.
Oh.
They hate me.
We're doing this live.
We're doing
Why
it
are
live.
you were getting your suggestions?
All right, let's see here.
Wow, so that was the same dude.
It was.
That's fucking hilarious.
Wow.
Beastmaster, I have a bunch of IAG and was just looking at it today. It does suck that I think it's a billion token supply or something like that, and like 33% is out. So that's relevant because I do not know the emission schedule on that at all.
Okay.
That is so funny. That's the baby.
Dude,
That's
the
awesome.
Bidens are just the gift that keep on giving. We have this that came out today. Really wholesome, Hunter Biden appearance. We're going to have a listen. You ready for this, Owen?
Dude, is that the fat kid from what is it? Slytherin? Is that him?
The henchman?
He did not age well. Whatever's Malfoy.
Oh, my God.
He really did not age
That'd be
well.
Malfoy if he, just ate a bunch of donuts for, 2 months. You know what I mean? Really just started slamming them or supersized himself.
Hell
That was a
yeah.
good movie. Let's check it out. How'd the Biden talk on the Hill go today? You ready for this?
Gentlemen, time's expired. Chair recognizes Ms. Green from Georgia for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently you're afraid of my words. Here goes. Oh. I'd like to reclaim my time, Mr. Chairman.
Nice.
Wow, that's too bad. That's
Hunter
terrifying
ran away.
of strong conservative Republican women because he can't even face my words as I was a
Look at his face.
Good gosh.
Look at his face.
He said, I gotta go.
This is the kin to our commander in chief right now that is facing felony firearm charges, litany of other charges using his finances for prostitutes. Oh. And now he just gets to hop into the Capitol Hill.
Whoa. They are independent business owners. Okay?
Okay.
This country is about self-entrepreneurship.
Oh,
Just
my
saying.
God. He's also an oil and gas expert.
Oh, yeah,
according to
with
Ukraine.
Cinepec and all the money that they gave to
China. You said China like Trump.
No, I said, I whispered it. I did not go, China.
All right, fine. I'm trying to just
Much better.
I'm going to talk it into existence someday. Looks like X is going to try to phase out NFT profile picture support.
What?
Um,
The verified
Well,
thing or whatever?
Phase out
Yeah.
the current version and then implement their own.
Potentially.
And
Let's
you have to
take
pay
it.
money or something.
Let's see what we got here. It appears NFT owners can no longer transform their profile picture from a circle to a hexagon. Oh my God, what will we do? The company began rolling out the service about 2 years ago, month before Elon Musk completed his acquisition. And let's see here. The apparent discontinuation of the service was first reported by TechCrunch, get out of my face, which noted that X has removed all mentions of NFT profile pictures from its premium support page. After the block initially tested X's NFT support, it found it still to be functioning on early Wednesday. The service later ceased to work. So, wow.
It'd be feckity who.
What's that?
I said boo feckity who.
Yeah.
Are people actually mad about this?
Who's
Probably the people who bought them, and that was their clout and their only claim to fame.
Like their apes and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like it's like a club thing. But I mean, it's like they call it a community and turns into this toxic club, you know? So, you know, for that reason, I've never had an interest in that. But if you do have, you know, one of those NFT special features on X, it looks like they're actually rolling that away. The larger implication is because that was like the first step to SocialFi, really kind of coming to the masses in a sneaky way for me. Still haven't seen X roll out the actual crypto trading either. I know it's been rumored that they have partnered with eToro, but that process is still in play.
The worst.
What?
Worst place to buy anything.
Oh, I know. eToro's garbage.
Yeah.
Like, the layout's terrible. And, you know, the layout is why FTX was not... FTX's layout was clutch. Coinbase's layout is awesome. eToro, not so much. I think that, you know, I'm really hopeful that we do eventually see crypto being traded on Twitter or X in 2024, but we'll have to wait for a big kind of update from them because that's a large undertaking.
One of the largest payment processors in the world is? We're guessed. You say PayPal?
They're the largest.
I don't know. Visa?
What's your guess?
Oh, man. I'd have to say Venmo.
Okay, yours?
WhatsApp.
What's that?
WeChat.
Well,
Oh,
China.
I was close. That's the same thing.
It literally is
That's what
more
Elon
in daily
wants.
volume than like Visa, MasterCard,
Yeah.
PayPal.
Dang
That's
it.
a good point. That's a good
what
point.
The X, everything up.
That always goes out of my mind because it's a Chinese-based only system. But
Well, it's owned by Tencent.
yeah, it's
well.
Tencent. I think I saw something about them in the news.
I didn't realize how much like they own portions of Discord. It's like
Oh yeah,
everything.
Tencent is well hooked in. I'm going to see. I thought I saw some. Oh yeah, TikTok owner ByteDance in talks with Tencent and others to sell gaming assets. So we saw that. That's where the news about Tencent was. Yeah, one of the largest tech companies in China. China has its own version of the Magnificent Seven, you know, these companies that hoist up basically the entire market. We have this in the United States compared to the Magnificent Seven within the U.S. and then the rest of the world. The Magnificent Seven have a larger market cap than any country's entire stock market besides the United States. So it gives you a good, kind of compass on how large these firms are in relativity to the rest of the world. Click into this a little bit more. The Magnificent Seven combined have a larger market cap than any single country. And all the way down here, you got Tesla making a run for it. Meta Platforms, NVIDIA, Amazon, Alphabet, these massive firms, these immovable, objects. But then you go up and we have actual countries here. We have China just behind the Magnificent Seven, and then the U.S. just absolutely smashed. And this is the difference in economy that a lot of people ignore. The derivatives market, quadrillions of it, is wrapped up in world finance, U.S. based. So if you unwind the system in the United States, you cause absolute chaos to majority of the world. Thus, China and Russia trying to insulate themselves from such a blow off top.
And humanity.
What's that? And humanity?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right before we move on, I wanted to say about the Twitter. They said yesterday they're introducing peer-to-peer payments this year, and it was last year that they made Doge the logo.
Yes, it's
for
been a while.
like 48 hours.
They haven't said anything.
I want to know. I need to go look back at when that was.
Wait, so you have to pay to have the profile picture thing?
Oh, they also got rid of NFT profile pictures. You can't have like a verified NFT as your profile picture now, which nobody really cared.
Right. It kind of
Some
phased out.
people did. Some people probably did.
It was cool. Like now, like a lot of people just don't own the profile pictures that are their NFTs. It's always been that way. So like
some AI image of themselves.
They just think it's funny. But I want to look back at the timeline of when he changed the logo to Doge and see like if that might have been the same.
I feel like it was August. It was like June. It was like at the end of summer, Beginning of fall, I feel
So
like
maybe that's when they introduce the payments. And will it be Doge? Question mark.
that's been the whole question. I mean,
I don't know.
let's do a check if Elon
I
still
don't know how to
has.
feel.
Didn't he say something about Doge before Elon? Like he was just kind of done with it.
Yeah, I mean, but he leaves.
Not those
he
exact
took
words,
it off.
but-
He took it off. Bearish for Doge. Bearish for
It was on his
Doge.
profile.
Took it off his profile.
Sell your
It's gone.
Doge.
Yeah, that was the thing. We had he had Dogecoin, the actual like coin.
Well, I wonder
symbol.
if he could have gotten in trouble for having that there.
Potentially.
Might be that.
You know.
Price was a massive bag.
Yeah. We also had this come out. Apple removing Binance from and KuCoin from apps in India. So you'll no longer be able to utilize or download the Binance app or KuCoin app if you are in India. Kind of interesting stuff to see. It's more probably tied to. I've seen just some harder sided, but quicker solidified regulations against crypto and just pretty high tax measures that the Indian government is putting into place for crypto within its people's usage. So I'm not horribly surprised that the two most hated exchanges across the world, Binance and KuCoin, which have
liked
also
KuCoin.
I know, man. They took KuCoin from us. Did you guys? I know that the DCA bots on KuCoin were really good. It's really funny to see a Business Insider, expose on how amazing KuCoin was for crypto usage. Not only 2 weeks ago, it's been banned in the U.S. for a few months now, and then they're sitting here, Business Insider, look at how great this account is.
It still works a little
this
bit.
exchange. It does work a little bit.
You can move stuff around on the mobile.
Yeah, but you can get out. It's like it's kind of opposite of Hotel California.
I got a few things still on there, but I don't know where to put them.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you got on there?
I think I got Cadena on there.
Okay.
Meta Hero, Blocktopia. I don't know, just random things like that
Hero.
were just chill. Meta Hero was like essentially like a play back in the day where you they would scan items of your body and they put you in the metaverse or whatever. I don't know. It was when metaverse was hype, so
Yeah.
I just put some money into it.
Just kind of it sucks to see people that are in, obviously here in the U.S. it sucks, but people across the world, they have a higher inflation problem. Their fiat is worth less and it hurts them even more. So, the clamps coming around people that have even more of a reason to escape a failing fiat system, it's just disheartening. You know what I mean? We got to fight hard. If we're here in crypto, we're fighting for the right thing. Be loud about it. Be out front in front of the public about it. One of the great things about crypto is that it's got a finite nature and that it can't just be, printed into oblivion as far as we're talking about Bitcoin as it stands right now. I know we talked about the implication of what BlackRock could do over a 5-10 year time frame of total control of it, but supply is continuing to shrink off of these exchanges. The Ethereum supply is actually what I'm looking at today. Locked in smart contracts hit an all-time high. And looking like a very, very steady, healthy graph of supply in smart contracts on Ethereum, just up and to the right, nice steady growth. Then you see the exchange balance is moving in the absolute opposite direction. Not too crazy to think about that's happening, but essentially what I see on Ethereum and Bitcoin is a major supply crunch coming. Should we get this massive approval that's right on the doorsteps right now? We're sitting here, I'm making sure I don't miss any quick updates, breaking news updates. It looks like we're still waiting on the actual announcement on if it's going to dump like crazy after a postponement or if we are off to the races and see
It's going to be like prom night for you,
chaos.
Drew. You're just going to be waiting.
Oh man, my prom night was a mess, dude.
I know.
My prom night.
I've read
was a
your
mess.
blog.
You probably do have an idea if you read my blog.
Yeah, your live journal.
Yeah. Oh man, it was like
Emo Drew 69.
Yeah, there's I remember my prom was just an absolute dumpster fire. I just remember a gigantic bottle of vodka. A girl I wanted nothing to do with being with me, and the one that I was chasing around all high school came and she didn't go to prom with anyone, and yeah, it was just a total disappointment, total Craigslist thing, and I wasn't that big of a dick to be like, all right, I'm leaving you, I'm going here. You know what I mean?
I'd be the best interrogator. I just made that up and just got you
No, you
divulging
got
everything.
He's all sad now.
The prom info.
Yeah, that,
Hearts in the chat for Drew.
Yeah, Matt McCormick's bottle never tasted better, and then it tasted horrible ever since then. So, yeah, we have no massive news breaking about the actual ETF happening. I think Owen, I'm getting the vibes. Near is my move. Okay.
That's what you're buying.
That's my next move. I like the graph of what I see on Near as it sits right now in comparison to the rest of the market a lot. And I really like the project in and of itself, and it's got a strong community, all the other good stuff. One thing about it is at a $3.3 billion market cap, so it's a little bit less movable than the hyper aggressive plays. But in general, I'm looking for nice base pads for projects to be at right now, price wise, to have that support and that good upward trajectory. As we see the price of Bitcoin absolutely jackknifing on potential approvals, you see it spike up to 48K. I'm not going to be surprised if we end this month, above the $50,000 range for Bitcoin. And as that settles in, it's the normal process. Bitcoin pumps, then Ethereum has a great day like we saw yesterday. Then the ecosystem within that has a great day like we saw today. And then it flows to aggressive L1s. Near, that's definitely one of them that I don't have yet. Cardano, not a bad spot. I mean, it's at like 51 cents right now. So also thinking about maybe we should chunk that up into Near and Cardano, but you already have a bunch of Cardano. See, yeah, okay, so you're fine.
He needs
on that.
more Cardano.
You need more Cardano.
People in the chat have my back on that. He needs more Cardano.
More Cardano.
Right, BJ?
He has a lot. He giggles scaredly, like he's got too much. You
can never have too much Cardano.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we have something real big for Discover Crypto coming up in the next few weeks.
Huge.
Regarding that.
Yeah,
so.
no shit. You made that really obvious.
What? No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
You saying that I made it obvious is what made it obvious.
Made it obvious.
Oh my God. Well, that's why I come down here. I got to come down here and figure out what we're actually doing as a company.
Around when?
I'm not saying now. I've already said too much.
More cowbell.
I've already said too much. Pyth. Ooh, let's look at the graph on Pyth. It's in a Chainlink competitor. Link has been really holding up damn well. Pumped up to like 1450 today. I'm feeling good about it. Let's see what this looks pretty
more
viable.
Cardano, Owen.
Ooh.
More.
Look at Pyth is down from its original release point. This is interesting. So either you're buying here as a chaotic genius madman, or you're buying a dead project. It's at $382 million market cap right now. The graph, you got to give it credit. It's only about, I think, like a month or two old. This graph only goes back to the end of November. So this is a few months of data. I mean, Pyth's I like a competitive market. I'll say that. Well, it's a Chainlink. It's a Chainlink imposter for Solana, basically. But the problem with it is that Chainlink has already been integrated to like most projects. So that's where, as small of a project as it is, the market cap 383 mil, it is very movable. I'm not going to say that, but to accomplish what I'm looking Chainlink to accomplish in the next bull market, somewhere around $100 billion, that's a long way up. The tech looks good. The market cap looks movable. Circulating supply at a total supply 1.5 billion out of 10 billion total. So there is some to release on that end, but Chainlink releases 7% of its tokens every year as well. There's inflation with many of these different projects. Oh man, this is this might actually turn out to be a hell of a move here. Because I do feel like that L1 push is coming, and Solana, I think, is going to be part of that resurgence. Near, I'm still feeling strong about, but Pyth, I'm going to see, my plan on Pyth is to see a little bit of strong flat line support here. Little nice place for it to plant its feet and make this next move on up. As I know that the markets at large are moving, but, it takes time. So.
Should we show my video?
Oh my God.
I accidentally found it on my...
Which one?
Okay.
And you're going to need the audio on for this one.
Hold on. Don't do it yet, Owen. Don't do it yet. Hold on. Okay. We're definitely getting banned for this one.
We are.
Okay. Here we go. And you ready?
It's good knowing y'all, chat. This is gonna be funny.
It's been nice.
What is this?
You got the sound on?
I got to lean over to see it.
Let's make sure. All right.
A letter to President Clinton? Would he answer us? I bet he would.
Oh my god.
I bet he would too.
Oh god.
Oh my god, dude. This is so bad. You know, the day after we put Clinton on our thumbnail, he got implicated on the list like hard-sidedly. We called that with our thumbnail.
Period.
You know what I mean? That's pretty good
Period.
call.
These are
Put
the
Bill
shorts
Clinton
that
on
we
the
need to be
thumbnail.
making.
I know. I've been. We actually had a short do pretty good on Instagram. It's about Sherman, Brad Sherman, making fun of crypto bros, saying you just print money out of nowhere. Well, we print money out of nowhere because we're the U.S. government.
Hey, everybody go follow Blockchain Basement on Instagram.
Yes,
it's
I'm putting
Blockchain
some work.
Basement, and then also follow Discover Crypto. The username is bitboy_crypto.
Yes,
Because we
exactly.
have
Dude,
to
there are some
contact Instagram
fire
to change
memes
it.
on there.
I know. You guys have been crushing it on that, man. You guys are getting me inspired, re-inspired.
Hudson's doing really good.
Yeah, man. Hudson's awesome. Aaron's
they
awesome.
had a short reach, like it's over 3-something million views.
Oh, I know. That one with Tate. Yeah, the Tates.
With
they're
Top
dancing.
G dancing.
Top
'cause he
G
bought
dancing.
Bitcoin at 16K.
It's fun
Yeah.
making this stuff.
I know.
Again, if you are, I know there's a lot of people thinking about taking profits before this big move, and obviously it's the beginning of the year. We're getting ready for taxes. Make sure to check the link in our description and our sponsor, Decrypted Tax. We have special pricing for Hit Network, so make sure to use our link. Get at least 25% off their standard pricing, and it's done by an actual tax professional, a tax lawyer that works and has a specific knowledge within crypto. So it's always nice to have someone like that in your corner if you are looking at a large amount of money that you have gained over the last few markets. If you've been here in the basement with us, you probably are sitting pretty well. So always ensure that you have that end covered. No one wants to get caught with their pants down and not paying their taxes in the long term, because it can get ugly. This government enforces this monetary reason with violence. So other than that, we're going to get ready. I'm going to go work out now.
Go lift some
Shake it up.
freaking weights.
Let's go lift some weights. Appreciate every single one of you out in the chat. You guys, wonderful show as always. Always lovely having you on.
Yeah, over 300 people
I
in here
know.
today.
Shout
Crazy.
out. And share the stream. Smash the like. Share the stream out with a friend. Let's get this out to the interwebs. Michael Moore, Killed by Death, Fade and Tradfi, Hobus, Shake and Bake Crimson Caravan Company, XRP, Pete, Turds Times, but I can't say the rest of it.
You can.
But
Can't
I
or
won't.
shan't.
I shan't.
Green Day Profits. Nice seeing
I
you
love you
again.
all. I'll see you guys very soon. I'll start doing some late night live streams as soon as I can. It's got some family in town right now, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Take care.
Daniel.
Go touch some grass.